personal trainer for 30 years. I hold a master's degree in biotechnology and have suffered with IBS for more than 15 years. Today, I want to start with a question from a lady named Summer, which states, I've had extreme IBS pain for years. I mean, crippling pain, lasting 4 hours to a week straight. It causes violent vomiting. So any info, suggestions, and/or advice, I'll take anything at this point. I'm desperately looking for relief from this. All right, so Summer, nausea. Nausea is is very common among people with IBS, especially in the morning. And vomiting from IBS can occur. Vomiting with IBS usually isn't life-threatening, but they can be symptoms of other conditions, such as a bowel obstruction. So a visit to your gastroenterologist should be made for sure. They usually perform a breath test for hydrogen, which will indicate an overgrowth of certain bacteria in the small intestines, also called SIBO, or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. But you could also perform a very thorough at-home stool test, which we have available on our website here. So I hope that helps, and I hope you make an appointment with your doctor, because you don't want to take any chances with something like that. So the topic for today is the connection between IBS and overactive bladder syndrome. So, as we've all witnessed in the health and wellness world, there is often more questions than answers, and even the most experienced professionals can find themselves stumped by seemingly simple queries. One question that's been puzzling the medical community for quite some time is whether irritable bowel syndrome can trigger an overactive bladder and urinary issues. So let's delve deeper into the science behind these two common afflictions and see if we can unravel the mystery. So irritable bowel syndrome is an uncomfortable affliction, as many of you know, that affects millions of people across the United States. It often goes undiagnosed, misunderstood, and stigmatized. So irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, is a complicated disorder characterized by a range of symptoms, including bloating, cramping, diarrhea, constipation, and abdominal pain. Meanwhile, overactive bladder syndrome, or OAB, is a frustrating condition that causes frequent, sudden urges to urinate and incontinence as well. Despite their distinct symptoms, both IBS and OAB share some commonalities, and many people living with one condition also experience the other. But what exactly are the causes of IBS and OAB, and is there a connection between the two? So let's go over the symptoms first. IBS symptoms, as we stated, can include abdominal pain, bloating, nausea, and changes in bowel habits, as well as mood and mental health irregularities. Most people with IBS have been able to tie stress and certain foods, like foods that are high in FODMAPs, to IBS flare-ups. Symptoms of OAB include the constant urge to urinate or a sudden and urgent need to urinate. In fact, the International Continence Society defines overactive bladder syndrome as the following symptoms, with or without incontinence: urinary urgency, urinary frequency, and waking in the night to urinate. Commonalities between IBS and OAB. Despite appearing unrelated, these conditions may be closely linked. Both have heightened sensitivity to specific physical and emotional stimuli and display similar trigger patterns. Research by the International Urology and Nephrology from 2021 suggests people with IBS may have an increased risk of an overactive bladder due to their gut microbiome irregularities. So right now, it's still not yet understood how IBS and OAB are definitively linked. According to a study in 2012 from the British Journal of Urology, up to 1/3 of OAB sufferers also experience symptoms of IBS. Some researchers think that the two conditions may share a common pathway in the nervous system. Some studies have pointed out a bacterial imbalance within the body as the link, and yet there is also evidence that suggests that the symptoms of IBS may trigger the symptoms of OAB via inflammation within the body. This potential connection between IBS and OAB gives more complexity to the two conditions. Recognizing these overlapping symptoms can enhance ways of managing IBS and OAB symptoms. Patients may consider investigating both simultaneously and search for treatments that address the underlying commonalities. As we comprehend the complexity of the human body more, we may realize further connections between seemingly disparate systems. Now, the proposed explanations for the link are that some researchers believe that there are common neural pathways, as I stated earlier, between the two conditions, while others point out the link between inflammation. Interestingly, IBS treatment may alleviate OAB as well. So by helping yourself with IBS treatments, it may actually alleviate OAB as well. So treatment and management options are out there. We have, so IBS and OAB often occur together, leaving patients seeking ways to manage both conditions. While there is no cure for either, various treatments are available. Each patient's approach is personalized, whether through lifestyle changes, including following certain meal plans, exercise, better sleep, meditation, and stress reduction. For severe symptoms, medication or surgery may be prescribed. It's important to remember that treating one condition may not alleviate the symptoms of the other all the time. So one place to start is by following a low FODMAP diet and taking the advanced probiotics by Casa de Sante. The formulation includes a scientifically identified bacteria that people with IBS lack, including the genus Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium. So just to recap a little, the relationship between IBS and urinary issues is a complex one. While some studies have indicated a correlation between them, the exact mechanisms by which this occurs are not fully understood. However, it is clear that for those who do experience urinary issues as part of their IBS symptoms, seeking medical advice and exploring treatment options is essential. Casa de Sante can help you with all your IBS needs, from dietitian support and probiotics to enzymes and low FODMAP protein powders. So there's a lot of choices out there for us now, and I really hope that knowing this information will help you to make better choices and to overcome a lot of the hardships associated with both IBS and OAB. So that concludes today's session. I hope you learned something from it. And please feel free to comment and email us if you have any questions. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye.